Hello everyone and welcome to episode 4 of this simple game experiment. Today I want to set up all of the cameras that I want in the scene and also make a small script that will switch between all of the different angles. But I thought a cool feature could be that the computer screen here, if it was displaying the webcam video, I thought that would be fun. So let's do that. So the obvious way to do that, or like my first idea to do that, was with render textures. So you have to go down to your assets and create a new render texture. I'm just going to name this one monitor, and I'm going to set it to a nice screen resolution of, basically what this monitor is shaped like. It's not perfect, but it's close, so it won't be all warped and stuff. Not much of this matters. And then let's go to the camera and set this as its render texture, and to the computer monitor screen and set this up as monitor. I gotta set the emit value to monitor as well. Okay, so that is definitely not this camera angle, so I think we actually need to go to Blender and UV unwrap this monitor. Okay, let's go into edit mode, select the screen. That's its UVs down there. And this is just the UV image editor. So unwrap. I think I'm going to hit reset rather than smart UV project, or just unwrap, because unwrap does this where it doesn't fill the entire square, and I think that if the entire square is filled it's better, but I don't actually know. So I'm just going to hit reset, which will fill in the entire square. If you have more subdivides of your face here, if it's not just one face, then it might do some weird things. So go out of edit mode, save, back to Unity, and there it is, sidewards. Okay, I just noticed something. This should probably be set to white instead of black, because then the texture will actually show through. So it's sidewards. I think we just need to rotate it in Blender. We need to rotate it clockwise, 90 degrees. Tab out, save. Go back to Unity. And now it's upside down. Okay, I guess that was the wrong direction to turn it. I tested this out before the video, and I think I did exactly the same thing. I just forgot what I did. And let Unity load it. Voila, there it is. So, something I actually found last time I was testing this out is that if you go to Game View now, I'm not going to hit the play button, I'm just going to go to Game View. It will say this: scene is missing a full screen camera. And I mean, I think it's because the render texture, because if we take off the render texture from the camera, it like rescales, and then we can view it, and you actually can't play the game while the camera is connected. So that's an interesting maybe bug. No, it's not bug, but like thing to know, I guess, about render textures. So I'm actually going to be duplicating the camera and putting the render texture on that, but they're both going to be under this camera mesh, which has the script on it, so they'll both move and the render texture should update in real time. Before I do that, I'm going to actually make this camera thing into a prefab so that we can duplicate it around the scene, and then I'm going to duplicate the camera inside of it and add the render texture stuff, so that the prefab doesn't have two cameras, because we don't need two cameras on every camera, just this webcam camera, I'm thinking. So I'm going to go just drag drop that in there, make that a prefab, and then I'm going to duplicate the camera, add monitor render texture, and I don't need to update the material on the screen because it's already using that. I don't know about this, but I'm going to set the depth to like 5, because the depth is used to put cameras on top of each other, like where the camera is rendered, so I don't want this second camera rendered on top. I don't know if it actually will, because it has that render texture thing again, but I don't want it to be rendered on top. So now I should be able to do this, and if I look down at the screen, it's actually showing me what I'm looking at, which is kind of weird, along with a bit of reflection of everything, because the material has all the shiny on it. Oh, there's some clipping issues there. Okay, well, now my camera's kind of tilted. I wish there was, I couldn't quite find a way to get the camera untilted except for like pushing up against the wall like that to get it straight again. But hopefully you're not going to be needing to do that a lot. So, yay, we finished that. Where we not finished that, but we did that. That's cool. Gonna save, and now we can work at placing cameras. So, if I go into like fly mode here by just holding down the right mouse button and using the W, A, S, and D keys to fly around. I did this before to like search for camera locations. So I thought maybe this corner is a good one where you can see the computer, but you could like the AI can also look at whatever's happening on this desk and like see around the entire room, sees someone enters the room, because if you're in the game camera, you can see someone walking into the door, but then you can switch that camera to see someone like at the computer or what they're doing over there on the table. So I thought that might be a cool spot right here to do. I thought about putting one in this hallway right here, like in this corner up here in this hallway, but I thought that was too close to the other cameras because the only thing you can see is like straight down the hallway. So then I thought of putting one in this corner right here so that you can look all the way down the hallway. But this is kind of a strange view, so I don't know about that. Maybe one up in this corner, or maybe in this corner, so that you have a little bit of mystery, like you can see someone walk into this room and you can see what they're doing on the table, but it's not this angle which you can see like almost down the hallway. Like, I don't know, maybe this angle too. Maybe put one in this corner where my mouse is right here, and one in the corner where I am right now. And then maybe one in this intersection, but I don't know about that. Because then you can like see what's going on in this room, up this hallway, up that hallway, but there's a lot of risk of like the players looking outside the map. I don't know. So then maybe this corner where you can still kind of see all the same stuff. It's just a little different. I don't know. So let's play around with camera placement and then like set up 2 or 3 cameras, and then we will probably get to work on coding the switching mechanism, which shouldn't be that hard, but you never know. So let's just do one camera and figure out all of our problems first so that we don't make a whole bunch of mistakes and have to fix them later. My keys were inverted there, so can't fix anything in the script. No. Guess I'll just have to do it upright. And I want it to be equidistant from the ceiling to the wall and not upside down. So that it doesn't clip through the walls. Just little tweaks here and there. Also, the field of view could be quite a bit wider because it is a security camera. So just getting that all situated. And then the rest of the cameras. So I kind of discovered after I did most of them that it is just 45 degrees rotated in basically each dimension. So I really didn't have to do it so freehand. This one's kind of interesting because it has such a wide angle, and in the cam control script I am changing that angle per camera. I think that's all the cameras I want to set up. Let's start working on the camera switching thing. After a little bit of organization happens. It's always good to keep your project organized. Okay, first I'm going to create a new tag called camera, and I'm going to apply that to all of the camera objects so that in the script, if I wanted to find all of my cameras, I could just search that tag. Then I'm going to go into camera control and add a public int called ID. This is for later use. I created a private array of game objects, and then I'm using a new array in start to find all of the game objects and add them with findGameObjects.tag camera. Now I'm creating a for loop to run through all of the elements in this new array. and I'm going to be searching for the camera control script on each of the objects, and I'm hoping to grab their ID. But for some reason this wasn't working. I'm adding all of that code to its own function called switch, taking it out of the start function. I want to point out that I don't really know what I'm doing here. I'm just guessing that this is going to work. I'm trying to see if I can get some sort of debug function running so I can figure out what's going wrong, but nothing seems to be working so far. I'm trying to figure out how to get ID to be connected, but I don't know. Okay, I've had a break and I have a completely new idea of how to do this. So I'm going to start off by just actually deleting everything, but I keep my switch function. So my new idea involves using GUI elements and how buttons work in the new UI system. But I'll get to that. Right now I'm just using a which variable, which you can set in the inspector later, to determine which camera you're switching to. I also set up another variable called last to determine which camera was set up last and to turn that one off when the new camera is switched to. Do we have any errors? Yes, one. I just need to change this to void. Now I'll create a new camera just to render the UI, and I'll name it GUI. Back in the script, I'm reintroducing my array of finding all of the game objects with the tag camera. But this time I'm going to use it to set all the cameras to false right at the beginning of the game. So now I'll set up an if statement to say all of the cameras that are not the camera labeled number 0 will be turned off, so that it won't turn off the first camera and we'll have one to render the scene with. So after fixing some bugs, I think it's ready to go. I'll add all of the cameras to the array in the order that I want them to be labeled. And let's check it out. So it still works. We do have more than one audio listener in the scene, so I'm going to quickly go and turn off all of those. But I actually want to just turn off the ones on the UI camera and the second camera that's rendering on the screen, because the other ones I do actually want to hear audio. So now let's get started on the GUI. I'm going to start by adding a UI canvas. Where is it? Uh-oh. I guess we're going to have to solve this problem in the next episode.